Yo! Alright, this time I'm not gonna get caught. I'm gonna just start talking. What's going on, y'all? This is my third live. My name is Billy. What's good? And I want to talk about something. I want to talk about why I left CNN. And it's so interesting to notice the nerves and like the concern talking about this issue. It's so interesting, right? For me, that means I need to walk into it. That's something I need to go right into and actually communicate why I left CNN. CNN, the product on air is rough. What's up? What's up, yo? Hello. The product on air is terrible. And you guys know this already, right? I'm not talking to people who haven't watched it. There's a problem with the product on air at CNN. And it's like people at CNN know this. So I've been there for 5 years. I was an editor-producer at CNN in the Washington, D.C. Bureau from 2015, and I left in 2020. I just left December 2020. And I've had, in that time period, dozens of conversations with different people who, especially in the last year or so, can really, you know, if they're honest, and if they're not honest, safe space can say, yo, what's going on? The media, the challenges, the problems going on in this world today are connected to the product on TV. And it's not just CNN, obviously. It's Fox News, it's MSNBC. Fox News really revolutionized and innovated the fake news model, and it slowly created a tumbling force that's kind of really ruined the whole enterprise. It's really rough. In the mainstream, it's hard to understand where to go to get, you know what I'm saying, get good analysis, information and analysis about all the difficult problems we have in the world today. And that's insane. That's really insane. It's either lies, it's lies by omission, it's distraction, it's partisan hackery. There's conscious misleading framing, it seems to me, even now in this moment with the Afghanistan situation, to be focused on the length of the leaving and not have a proper conversation about what happened over the last 20 years and how we got here is a complete dereliction of duty. That's insane. How do we have that? We have to have that conversation, and you see it happening in different parts of the media, especially online. In these kind of, some of the new media outlets do a great job of asking tougher questions. I think Breaking Points is a good example, and I always watch them and link to them. But it's really weird. Oh shit, I want to try to do this in 8 minutes and try to do this. It's going to be hard to do, but I'm going to try to do this in 8 minutes. What's going on, y'all? It's funny to me because in one of the videos I did recently, I did a video about performing, and I talk about different kinds of performing that I've done in my life, and I tried to relate it broadly, and I talked about, you know, masculinity as a performance, and it just felt to me that I can't do that without also talking about the kind of performances I've seen in different spaces, powerful spaces. I'm really lucky that I have a kind of unique background, and things have happened, and I've been in different spaces. I've worked in Congress for a member of Congress. I've worked as an aide for a member of Congress. I've worked at CNN as an editor-producer, and there's performances happening there too. You know what I'm saying? I've seen drunk senators fall down stairs. I mean, obviously, they're human. People are human. The point I'm trying to make there is, there's this performance of, like, patriotic duty and representation and doing the job well. What's up, too? What's going on, everybody? But the truth is, there's an ugly truth behind what's going on in our power centers, yo. And, you know, a lot of my coworkers, like I said, know this. There are people for every stage, the people you know on television to people who work the cameras and the engineers and the producers, several producers who are wondering about this slide, this really harmful downward slide in terms of analysis and effort to produce a full and proper product for people. And I'm going to just quote Ted Turner real quick. Oh shit, he's about to quote Ted Turner. Ted Turner says, I don't know the full quote, I'm going to have to paraphrase it. He says the whole point of news, cable news, whatever, is to get people the information they need. And I really challenge us to admit that there's a big problem here and say so publicly and begin to move differently. You know, you see these fissures, even like, I'll point out people in CNN that I actually think are worth their salt and are trying to attempt to have these conversations properly within that space. Jake Tapper is someone that I worked with closely, and I think, you know, he focuses on the president. That's his thing. That's his passion personally. That's also where he came up career through the White House correspondent stuff, and he's not perfect, but you see an integrity with Jake Tapper trying to ask certain questions. He's not perfect, but if I had to pick someone to cover that space, at CNN, it would be Jake Tapper. Another person is Fareed Zakaria, who tries to have a broader conversation about international politics and really bring something different to the 24-hour news cycle. I think that's important to point out. And there's so many people doing small things, and I think we need to be more overt and clear about what's going on, you know? The media calls itself the fourth pillar when it's useful, when it's beneficial. It's the fourth pillar. It is there to protect us and be safeguards against tyranny and against oppression and against the overreach of power and the consolidation of power and kleptocracy. It's supposed to be that. That's the stated purpose. And when they have the opportunity to market themselves, they market themselves that way. They have a special constitutional distinction, frankly. The Constitution doesn't talk about many private industries. What's up, Sumi? What's going on? It gives a special provision for the media because it recognizes it's important, it's vital duty. So, like I said, the media will take that on and use that when it's beneficial, give themselves a lot of pats on the back for the work that they do, and then at another time they'll kind of playfully notice how it's really actually money ridden. It's like, which one is it? Is it a private industry that has bills to pay, or is it a fourth pillar? You know, if it's the fourth pillar, then there needs to be some structural changes to the way it works. You know, playing around having a bunch of sycophants scream at each other for the entertainment of people at home is creating a problem. Have you noticed that? It's creating a problem. Talking about big, difficult problems in 10-minute segments between commercial breaks is creating a problem. Maybe big, difficult problems need a broader format, need a different format. And maybe we need to demand of them to actually meet that challenge and to be who they say they are, who they want to be. I had to leave because the product in there was slipping. It was slipping under. It's always been slipping. It's slipping under the last administration, and now it's weird. It's a whole other thing. The second reason, my Where Is Now podcast, man. I run a podcast with a guy named Jesse Freeston, a good friend of mine. And, we want to talk about serious things. We want to talk about that format I was talking about earlier. Like, get into the meat of things and help people understand things rather than to kind of, like I said, offer a back and forth sycophant screaming session, and contemplation over, like, parsing over tweets. That's actually bad for us. It's splitting reality. It's weird. The Where's Now podcast, I was with Jesse. We did an episode about what's going on, yo. What's up, Jesse? This is a different Jesse. What's going on, me so blessed? How you doing? Jesse is making comments about President Biden. I found myself being nervous about saying obvious truths during the podcast one day, and I was like, yo, I can't be like that. That's not who I want to be, you know? I don't want to be the person awkwardly unable to say what I know, say what I see, and speak truthfully. And so I had to make the changes to be that. And so that's the second reason I left CNN, because I want to have these conversations in full, and I want to do that. So that's what I did. That's the second reason. Let me just talk one more time about CNN. Brian Stelter is a guy. Brian Stelter is a guy at CNN who, this is where the media thing is so crazy. He positions himself, his whole job is he's like a media anchor, and the whole thing is that he's kind of a watchdog about the media doing it right and wrong. But he's employed by CNN, and what he does is he pretty much just points out in other stations and is unable to notice the problems within his own organization. Or maybe he does. I wonder how does he go to sleep? How does he look in the mirror and pretend that he's actually doing the work that he claims to do? I point him out because he's egregious, and he's particularly bad at this. And you see it with the stuff with Cuomo recently. There's so many problems right now. And we need a change, man. So this is partly to talk about it, and also is to help me. Like I said, man, I had nerves about talking about this, and I'm like, no, I don't live in a world where I can't speak honestly. I don't live in that world. I'm not going to agree to that. You feel me? And that's where I'm at. The third reason I left is really, it's similar to the where is now, like the thing with that, but the third reason is I really want to have my voice, and I recognize that, you know, these are all markets. Like this is all markets, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Let's see here. My man Jesse says, speak truth where it's seen, not where it's dreamed. Interesting. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I think speak truth, man. Yeah, you know. Where was I? We've got NFTs, we've got the stock market, we've got all kinds of stuff going on, and you know, the rule often is, you know, buy low, sell high, right? And you know what's really low right now is honesty. Integrity is really low right now. Honesty is low right now. And I think we're about to see this whole new wave. We're already seeing it. You know, I did a little thing with hip hop with you. What's up, Sheba? What's up, baby? But listen to J. Cole. Listen to the stuff coming out of Dreamville. Listen to Mick Jenkins out of Chicago. Listen to Lupe. Lupe did a battle recently with Royce the 5'9", and he called him out. He said, "You performing for the thugs. You know, come out here." He's talking about performance. Listen to Nas. Listen to the Nas album. He's talking about count me in. He's talking about, you know, our commitments to each other. You know what's low right now is truth. And those people who invest right now in honesty and truth and helping people understand the realities of stuff, that's what's next. Like, this other stuff's not going to be around, you know? Brian Stelter is not going to be around, you know? We have what's going to be around is this effort to understand each other and to love each other and see where people are where they are, you know? We have this effort now where I saw, well, I don't know, in 2020 there was a lot of talk about pulling down statues and looking at old historical figures and looking at them through our lens and seeing how, you know, do these statues need to exist? Not just the Confederate statues, but even sort of, you know, Ben Franklin and others. Obviously, these people historically got it wrong on the race question. I'm interested to see, like, what are our children going to be saying about this moment? You know what I mean? That's what's interesting here. What do the children 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now, are going to be asking, you know, what happened here? And we have all this documentation. We have all this stuff. Illmatic. I want to be part of the growing movement for truth, honesty, love, and like just being genuine. And I want to contribute that. I want to contribute that in my art. I want to contribute that in my words. And I know that, you know, people are listening, children are listening. We're influencing each other we're supporting each other, we're loving each other, we're trying to understand stuff for real. We're not trying to be misled, you know? So those are the reasons why I left CNN. Those are the reasons why I think you should stop watching cable news, generally. I'm going to get some links of like really good internet sources for media, people doing difficult work. And I'm interested to see what happens, you know, now that I've got this off my chest and said it, you know, and put it out. I'm interested to see what happens. But I love you guys. And like I said, there are people, dozens and dozens of people who tell me about other conversations they've had with others who are concerned about this very same thing, who work within these systems, in CNN, in Fox News. I know people there, in MSNBC, in Congress, people I know there who are just like, what is happening, you know? We each have a role to push truth. That's, if we do that, if we make it uncomfortable, to be in an untruth, untruths need to be made uncomfortable. Systems that perpetuate untruths need to be made uncomfortable. We need to point it out. That's how things continue to fester, is when they're not pointed out. So I hope we can push the space and open the space for more of that and build this culture, music, art, politics, entertainment. It's all about love. It's all about communication. It's all about understanding each other, understanding our complexities, trying to get deeper to understand each other as best we can, because we need that. We're going to need that connective tissue and support each other. And I love everybody watching. Everything I've said here comes from love. Peace.